everyone, it's Kerry back with you today. I've got another video to share for our It's the Little Things series, and I've been working on some of these little paper clips, so I'll show you how I've created those in a moment. Now this video was actually inspired by a lady over on Instagram. I will link her below, and she had made some lovely little paper clips and stored them in a little piece of vintage ephemera like this, and I thought that was super cute. And she also showed a way that she had made these little paper clips. Now previously I'd been making some by stitching the fabric together and then sliding the paper clip through, but that leaves them being a little bit floppy, which is fine. They can sort of move around, but I wanted to give these other ones a try because they sort of sat more firmly on the paper clip, and I really like how they turned out. So all you'll need for today's project is either some fabric, or I've got tissue paper or glassine paper I've used for these ones, and some paper clips. So let's get started. You can use any sort of fabric to make your paper clips. These ones I've actually used a little bit of tissue paper scrap, and these ones in the back here I've used some glassine paper, so they've got that sort of lovely rustly sound that we like. You can use plain fabric, or you can even stamp on your fabric beforehand to make them look a little bit more cohesive to your projects. So for today's project, I'm just going to use this piece of hand-dyed fabric, which is about 2 inches wide. It's a little bit creased at the moment, so I'm just going to cut a piece off. This is actually a teeny tiny hair, like a travel iron for hair straightening, and I just use it as like a little craft iron for ribbons. So that bit's nice and flat now. And some paper clips. It doesn't really matter what size paper clips you use. If your paper clip is particularly small, you might want to use smaller pieces of fabric just so you don't get it sort of bunching up too much at the top here. So I'm going to just split this fabric in half down the middle, just so it's not too wide. And I like the sort of rough torn edges, so I'm just going to leave it like that. And then I want to determine how long I want my little fabric dangly bit to be. And then I need twice that amount so that I can fold it over. So I'm happy with about that much. Snip that off. So I've just got a piece of scrap paper to glue on here. I'm just going to lay my fabric down, and then I'm just going to take a glue stick, just a normal glue stick, and roughly in the middle I'm just going to pop a bit of glue down. Then I take my paper clip and I make sure that I've got this end with the single loop, not the double end loop, and I'm just going to slide that onto my fabric and bring my paper clip up to where the glue sort of starts and fold my fabric over. Now if you want your fabric to be a little bit offset, so your tassels sort of a bit wider or a bit more sort of messy looking, then you can adjust that now by overlapping them unevenly, or if you want them to be perfectly aligned, you can just line them up like that. Then I lift my paper clip up off the paper, so I'm going to make this one a bit uneven. And then you just sort of press it together with your finger and thumb, and then slide the fabric to the end of your paper clip and then just pull it up. So this will adhere down the bottom here. These pieces don't have any glue on, so they're still going to be sort of nice and soft. Not that it goes particularly hard with the glue stick, but you can sort of feel where the glue is. And it will adhere to the metal of the paper clip as well, so it'll become quite stable on there. And then you just leave it aside to dry. So quick. There's another one here. A little bit of glue. Grab my paper clip. Make sure I've got the right side. Thread it up. Twist it around to the top and just press it down. So you can make a bunch of these all in one go, and you can have them sitting there ready to use when you want something for your journal. Or if you're making a journal and you wanted you know, a set to match. So I used some fabric that matched the outside cover fabric to make some additional paper clips. So when I want a paper clip, I've already got some here in the journal that I can just use and add to my pages wherever I like. So super quick and easy. So here I've just got a plain piece of fabric that's fairly straight, and I'm just going to take a stamp. Just use this sort of scripty one. And I'm using a archival based ink. This is VersaFine, which is still an archival ink. It's permanent. It won't move when I add water or anything. If you were to use a water-based ink, it may run when you put the glue on. So I'm just going to take this stamp and just add some stamping on here. And I don't really care whether it's up the right way, around the wrong way, overlapping, because I'm going to be using just such a small piece, and the front, you know, if I have the front up the right way, then the back would be up the other way, if that makes sense. So I've got my stamping on there. Then I'm just going to heat that a little bit to set it before I put my glue on, or you could just pop it aside to dry. Whoops. And again, it's a little bit wide for these smaller paper clips, so I'll just split it in half. So I'm just going to pop my 3 little pieces of fabric down here. Now this fabric is very fine, so the ink from the stamping has actually come through the fabric, but I don't mind for this project. Take my little paper clip. So now I have 3 more little decorative paper clips, and you could stick them on anything to pop them in your journal. Here's just a little index card. The Motherlode actually made this one, and she's covered it just in some vintage paper. So I've just popped a little slice in there with a craft knife, and you could just add your little paper clips. So it just gives some extra little elements that you can use in the journal. I really love how quick and easy it is to make these little tabs, and they give an extra element to your journal, whether you use something like glassine or tissue paper for the crinkle, or whether you stamp some fabric and add that finishing touch to your pages. We all love seeing journals that have got sort of lovely fluffy bits hanging out here and there. It just adds extra interest, and these are just a simple way to add something else to your journal that gives the journaler another element to add. I hope you found that helpful. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'll see you again next time. Bye!